Shalom. I am Rabbi Eliyahu ben Shlomo, and I'm about to reveal the ancient morning ritual that transformed my life from ordinary to extraordinary, opening doorways to abundance that I never thought possible. Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, abundance seems to elude you? You wake up, rush through your morning, say a quick prayer perhaps, but by midday, you're already feeling drained, frustrated, and wondering why your spiritual practices aren't yielding the prosperity you seek. I understand this feeling all too well. For years, I followed what I thought were the right spiritual practices, yet abundance remained just beyond my grasp. Then everything changed when I discovered the secret I'm about to share with you today. The morning ritual that wealthy and spiritually fulfilled individuals have been practicing for centuries, hidden within ancient Jewish wisdom. What if I told you that the first 5 minutes of your morning determine the flow of abundance for your entire day? What if I told you that a simple 1-minute practice, performed correctly, could realign your spiritual energy and open channels of prosperity that have been blocked for years? This isn't about positive thinking alone. This is about connecting to the divine source of abundance in a way that transforms your relationship with wealth at the deepest level. If this resonates with you, subscribe now to walk with me daily. Here I teach how to transform faith into habits that multiply results in every area of your life. My own journey to this discovery began during one of the darkest periods of my life. I had lost everything: my business, my savings, my sense of purpose. One night, after hours of prayer that seemed to go unanswered, I fell into a deep sleep. In my dream, an angel appeared to me, radiant and wise. But instead of offering sympathy, the angel asked me a question that would change everything. Why do you begin each day by poisoning the well of your own abundance? I was confused, even defensive. I pray every morning, I protested. The angel shook his head gently and said, You pray, but your first thoughts, your first words, your first actions, they contradict the very abundance you seek. The morning is sacred. The first minute upon waking is when the gates of heaven are most receptive to your voice. When I awoke, I felt a clarity I hadn't experienced in years. I began researching ancient Jewish texts about the significance of morning rituals. What I discovered was a hidden code of abundance that had been practiced by the wisest and most prosperous Jewish sages throughout history. This code wasn't just about prayer. It was about creating a specific neurological and spiritual pathway in the first moments of consciousness each day. You see, modern neuroscience now confirms what our ancestors knew intuitively. The brain is most receptive to programming in the first moments after waking. The subconscious mind, which controls 95% of our thoughts and behaviors, is like soft clay in this state, ready to be molded by whatever impressions we give it. Most people unknowingly program scarcity, worry, and limitation into their minds first thing in the morning. They reach for their phones, check email or news, and immediately flood their brains with stress hormones and scarcity thinking. The ancient Jewish secret I discovered works with both spiritual laws and neurological science. It creates a deliberate pathway for abundance by aligning your first conscious thoughts with the divine flow of prosperity. And here's the miracle. It takes just 1 minute. 60 seconds that will transform your relationship with abundance. Let me share with you the exact morning ritual that changed everything for me and has since helped thousands of my students create prosperity beyond their wildest dreams. This is the ritual I practice every single morning without fail, whether I'm at home or traveling, whether I feel like it or not. Consistency is key to its power. The moment you wake up, before your feet touch the floor, before you reach for your phone, before you say a word to anyone, stop. Just stop and become aware of your breath. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. As you inhale, imagine drawing in divine light and abundance. As you exhale, release any scarcity or limitation. This takes about 15 seconds, but it immediately shifts your nervous system from stress to receptivity. Next, while still lying in bed, place your right hand over your heart and say these words. Mode ani lefanecha, melek chai vekayam, shehechazarta binishmati bechemla, rabba emunatecha. This ancient prayer translates to, I give thanks before you, living and eternal King, for you have returned my soul to me with compassion. Great is your faithfulness. Even if you don't speak Hebrew, saying these words connects you to a spiritual frequency of gratitude that has been established over thousands of years. After this prayer, remain silent for 10 seconds. Complete silence. In this silence, you are allowing the words to penetrate your soul and the universe to respond. Most people never experience this sacred silence, rushing from one thought to the next, never allowing the divine to speak back to them. Then, still with your hand on your heart, speak these words in a clear, confident voice. Today I am a channel for unlimited abundance. Money flows to me easily and frequently. Opportunities for growth and prosperity reveal themselves to me clearly. I am grateful for the abundance that flows into my life, and I use it to bless others and fulfill my divine purpose. Finally, visualize your day unfolding with perfect timing and abundant opportunity. See yourself making wise decisions, attracting the right people and circumstances, and experiencing peace even amidst challenges. Take a moment to feel genuine gratitude for the abundance that is already in your life, no matter how small it might seem. This entire ritual takes exactly 1 minute, 60 seconds that will completely transform the energy you bring into your day and the results you create in your life. Now, there's another component to this morning code of abundance that's equally important: what you don't say or do. The angel in my dream spoke of poisoning the well of abundance, and this happens when we introduce certain energies and words into our morning consciousness. In my work with thousands of students, I've identified specific morning habits that block the flow of prosperity. The first is reaching for your phone immediately upon waking. When you do this, you're essentially telling the universe, I value the chaos of the world more than my connection to the divine source of abundance. You're allowing other people's agendas, problems, and energies to enter your sacred space before you've established your own spiritual foundation for the day. The second prosperity blocker is complaining or speaking negative words first thing in the morning. The ancient Jewish mystics taught that the power of speech is at its height in the morning hours. Your words quite literally program your day. When your first words are complaints about not getting enough sleep, worrying about the day ahead, or expressing frustration about something or someone, you are literally coding scarcity into your experience. The third morning habit that blocks abundance is rushing. When you jump out of bed in a frenzy, immediately thinking about all you have to do, and feeling behind before the day even begins, you create a neurological state of lack and limitation. The universe responds to your energy more than your wishes, and frantic energy attracts frantic circumstances, not organized abundance. I call these 3 morning mistakes the abundance blockers, and eliminating them while implementing the 1-minute ritual I just shared with you creates what I call the Angel's Morning Code, a complete system for reprogramming your relationship with prosperity at the deepest level. Now let me ask you, which word or habit have you been using in the morning that might be blocking your abundance without you realizing it? Write in the comments, today I exchange for and choose to prosper. Let me share a story that illustrates the power of this practice. David was a talented businessman who had been struggling financially for years despite working incredibly hard. He came to me desperate for a change. His businesses would succeed initially but then inexplicably fail. After learning about his morning routine, I immediately identified the problem. Every morning, the first words out of David's mouth were, I didn't get enough sleep, or I have too much to do today. He would then immediately check his emails, often finding problems to solve, which put him in a reactive state before his day even began. I taught him the 1-minute morning ritual and asked him to practice it faithfully for 30 days. The transformation was remarkable. Within 2 weeks, he noticed he was making better decisions. Opportunities he wouldn't have noticed before became apparent. A business connection he'd been trying to make for months suddenly came through effortlessly. By the end of 30 days, he had restructured his main business, eliminated activities that were draining his energy without providing returns, and had closed the biggest deal of his career. When he came back to see me, he said, Rabbi, I've been working hard for years, but I was poisoning my own well of abundance every single morning. 1 minute changed everything. Another student, Sarah, had been stuck in financial scarcity for decades. A talented healer, she never charged what she was worth and constantly worried about money. Her morning routine consisted of waking up and immediately calculating whether she had enough money to pay her bills, often lying in bed worrying for 30 minutes before starting her day. I taught her the 1-minute ritual and specifically asked her to replace her morning money worries with the abundance declarations I shared with you. The change didn't happen overnight, but she remained faithful to the practice. 3 months later, she had doubled her client base, raised her rates with confidence, and for the first time in her adult life, had savings in the bank. The secret to the power of this 1-minute ritual lies in its ability to align 3 critical elements of abundance: your spiritual connection, your neurological state, and your energetic vibration. When these 3 elements align, miracles happen not because of some magical thinking, but because you are working in harmony with both spiritual and natural laws. The ancient Jewish sages understood that prosperity is not just a material state, but a spiritual one. They taught that abundance flows not to those who chase it desperately, but to those who align themselves with its source through gratitude, purposeful speech, and sacred action. The morning ritual I've shared with you embodies these timeless principles in a practical 1-minute practice that anyone can implement. Now I want to emphasize something important. This is not about magical thinking or the idea that you can simply wish for wealth and it will appear. The Angel's Morning Code works because it changes you from the inside out. It shifts your awareness, attunes your perception to opportunities, and aligns your actions with prosperity. You will still need to work, to make wise decisions, to provide value to others. But you will do all of these things from a different state of being, one that attracts rather than chases abundance. I have seen this transformation in my own life. After implementing this practice, not only did my financial situation transform dramatically, but my sense of purpose and fulfillment deepened as well. I found myself making decisions with clarity rather than fear. Opportunities that were aligned with my highest good seemed to find me effortlessly. Most importantly, I developed a peaceful relationship with money, recognizing it as simply one form of energy exchange, neither inherently spiritual nor unspiritual. The ancient Jewish texts speak of kedusha, or holiness, as the state of being set apart for a sacred purpose. When you begin your day with the 1-minute ritual I've shared, you are essentially declaring that this day is holy, set apart for the divine purpose of creating and circulating abundance, not just for yourself, but for all whose lives you touch. There is a powerful Jewish teaching that says, "Words that come from the heart enter the heart." When you speak the words of the Morning Abundance Declaration with genuine feeling and faith, you are not just repeating affirmations, you are engaging in a sacred form of speech that the Kabbalists called dibur emes, or true speech. This kind of speech has the power to create reality because it aligns your words with your deepest truth and with the divine truth of abundance. Some of my students ask me, "Rabbi, what if I don't feel abundant? Isn't it dishonest to declare abundance when I'm experiencing scarcity?" This is a profound question that gets to the heart of spiritual practice. My answer is always the same. You are not declaring what is already manifest in your physical reality. You are declaring what is eternally true in spiritual reality. From the perspective of the divine, abundance is your birthright. When you declare it, you are not lying. You are aligning with a deeper truth that your temporary circumstances may be obscuring. This understanding transforms the morning ritual from a mere technique into a sacred practice of aligning with your divine nature. And this alignment is what creates the miracles of manifestation that so many of my students have experienced. Now let me address another aspect of the morning ritual that many people overlook: the power of consistency. The ancient Jewish practice of keviyut, or regularity, teaches that consistent small actions have far more power than occasional grand gestures. This is why I encourage you to practice the 1-minute ritual every single morning for at least 30 days, without exception. In my experience working with thousands of students, those who practice with absolute consistency, even when they don't feel like it, especially when they don't feel like it, are the ones who see the most dramatic results. Spiritual technologies operate by different rules than our ordinary understanding of cause and effect. Sometimes the effects are cumulative and breakthrough happens suddenly after a period of faithful practice. I remember one student who practiced the morning ritual faithfully for 29 days with no noticeable change in his circumstances. On day 30, he received a phone call that led to the opportunity he had been praying for years. Had he given up on day 29, declaring the practice ineffective, he would have missed the very blessing that was about to unfold. This teaches us an important lesson about divine timing. The universe operates on its own schedule, not ours. Our job is not to dictate when abundance should appear, but to align ourselves consistently with its flow and trust the process with faith and gratitude. There is a secret aspect to the morning ritual that I haven't yet shared with you. It involves what the Kabbalists call kavanah, or sacred intention. When you perform the ritual, it's essential that you do so not just with the intention of receiving abundance for yourself, but with the awareness that as you become more prosperous, you increase your capacity to be a blessing to others. The highest purpose of abundance is not personal comfort or security, though these are natural benefits. The highest purpose is to become a vessel through which divine blessing can flow to all who need it. When this becomes your kavana, your sacred intention, the morning ritual takes on an even deeper power. I have observed that students who practice with this expanded awareness of becoming a channel for blessing others tend to experience manifestations of abundance that are not only more substantial, but more deeply fulfilling. There is a joy in prosperity that comes from knowing your wealth serves a purpose greater than yourself. As we come to the close of our time together, I want to invite you to commit to the 1-minute morning ritual for the next 7 days. If you're truly serious about transforming your relationship with abundance, extend that commitment to 30 days. The results will speak for themselves. Remember, the ritual has 3 simple components. 1. Begin with 3 deep breaths and the Mode Ani prayer of gratitude. 2. Include 10 seconds of sacred silence. 3. Declare your alignment with abundance and visualize your day unfolding perfectly, and avoid the 3 abundance blockers. 1. Checking your phone first thing, speaking negative or complaining words. 3. Rushing frantically into your day. This simple practice, taking just 1 minute, contains within it the ancient Jewish code of abundance that has transformed countless lives throughout history, including my own. If this teaching has helped you, please leave a like and share it with someone who needs to wake up differently tomorrow. Practice this ritual for 7 days, then come back and tell me what has shifted for you. In my next teaching, I'll be sharing the evening prayer that seals the blessings of your day and prepares the soil for even greater abundance tomorrow. The morning and evening rituals together create a powerful cycle of prosperity that aligns you with the natural rhythm of divine blessing. Remember, abundance is not just your goal, it is your birthright. When you begin each day by aligning with this truth through the sacred morning ritual, you are not creating abundance out of nothing. You are simply removing the blocks that have been preventing what is already yours from flowing freely into your life. May the source of all blessing open the gates of prosperity for you as you practice this ancient wisdom. And may you become a channel of blessing for everyone whose life you touch. Shalom, and I'll see you in our next sacred conversation.